Hello guys, welcome to the trading room of the 5ers. Happy to see you here as usual on Monday. Open trading room talking about weekly forecast and the markets in general. So again, it's a pleasure to be here and yeah guys, let me know how are you today and how you feel. We had in the 5ers a few hours ago a release which I believe can upset some of you and yeah, I invite you to go on the website and check our social media to know what is the release. I believe that some of you guys already knows it, but yeah, it's a nice release and we work a lot to bring this new feature in our programs. Hello everyone. Hello Thomas. Hello Max, Kenya, Michael, Grim, Yonut. Hi everyone. Thank you for joining me today. And again, a reminder for some of you guys that did not book their ticket yet for London. We are making a big event for traders. You will see a lot of our team in London, 17th of June. So it will be next week. So hope you guys already booked your ticket if you're close. And even if not, we have some people coming from all over the world, actually booking some flights and coming to this special event. Rajesh, hello. I'm sorry, I think I'm moving all the time my chair. I hope it's not disturbing you, but I will stop. Good day. All right, let's move directly into the market. And yeah, we will continue a bit what we have told last week. The mindset is the same. I still want to have some buy on the euro and selling the indices, even it's on a big trend. You know, guys, how I'm thinking. So let's move directly into the market. And here we are. S&P. I will just get rid of that. Okay. So S&P, last week I wanted to find some selling opportunities on the H4. We had some selling spot, I think this was probably here. We had a nice selling area, like maybe Thursday or Friday, but the trend is still an uptrend. Here we are still going too far. As you see, we break out the trend. Again, very difficult for me to make any buy point here. I'm not a trader that like to go with the breakout. And the same, we still have uncertainty in the US. So again, it looks like there is a V shape creating, like something like that. We made the low and here we are going to recover all the way up. Again, technically we are in an important zone, which will be all these big zones. So that's why again I will be looking for some selling points. It could be on H1 time frame. It could be on weekly or daily time frame as well. So after that, you need to allocate the good lot size and the good risk management for it. There is still a huge pressure on the upside on the US indices. There is a lot of divergence. We see a lot. I read a lot of articles recently saying that we are not still at the end of the inflation and stuff like that. Even I think that we are. Technically, we are at the top of the range, and again, technically, it will tell me that I don't want to make a buy and I'm waiting for selling spots. And we are in an interesting point to make a sell again. If you go to the H4 chart or H1 chart, you don't have enough signals to have the accurate entry. So that's why you need to all the time make some partial entries, specifically on this type of movement. So this is for the S&P. Again, I'm expecting, I think we had this game also last week, by the end of the year, I'm expecting the price to be exactly the same. I don't know if we're going to move a bit lower or we can move a little bit higher, but by the end of the year, I'm expecting the market to close around that area, okay? Again, it's like a bet, but it's always good to have 6 months in front of you to say, yeah, okay, where I'm expecting the price to be, and this is where I'm expecting the price in by the end of the year. Summer is coming, Erwin. Yeah, I think we already in summer in most of the planet. With I think in Tel Aviv we had maybe 38 or 40 Celsius last week, which is very hot. So I think we're already in summer. Depends where you're from. Yeah, nothing to do here on the daily basis. It's like a base, but very small volatility. Again, I think I will focus on daily and weekly chart for the S&P to wait for a move. Of course, 30 minutes and M15, why not? There is not a lot to do. So I will wait for it. Let's look at the gold. I think gold, we already talked about gold last week, and we had very nice point to go. And I think we still have another point to go in. This was the zone we identified last week, which is first of all, it's a psychological level, but it's also a very big technical point in gold. If we go to the monthly chart, maybe we need to load the data, maybe not the weekly. No, I think daily will be enough. So on the daily, it's a big zone, also psychological zone. If you go to the H4, we see that the market here last week already make a boost. So it's the first indication that here the market can actually give some demand and bring some new buyers and push the price up. So we had the first movement here, and just recently the market here is making a nice move. As you see, big sell-off, and here buyers are coming in. This could be a place for me to make a buy and expecting the market to retrace. Again, on M1 we are still at the top, but on H1 and H4 this is still a nice point to go. Bollinger Bands, we are at the bottom of the Bollinger Bands. If we go to the H4, for example, stochastics is below 20, so we have a lot of indication here that the momentum on the downside is finished, at least for the last for the 15-minute charts. And yeah, I'm still focusing on buying gold for the long term, and I think here it's a nice key point. It's from a nice key point on gold. So I'm still keeping the same mindset as last week. Buying gold is a nice opportunity for the next week, and probably for the next for the next month. I think I checked euro dollar recently today. It looks like we are having a sell-off again from here, but again I'm still on the same mindset as last week. You see, it's this big zone here. Of course, the zone is probably 100 or yeah, it's let's say 50 pips of a big range. Generally, people will tell me, yeah, I have a stop loss of 15 pips, 20 pips. Here, I have like an interval of 50 pips to make entry. So you need to understand that the risk management here is very different than going on M5 or M15 minute chart. Here the 1.06 level is also a nice key zone. As you can see, it's the bottom of the COVID level. Then we break out here, at least no retracement, but here there is a lot of confluence. The market, when we touch this zone or a little bit below, like here for example, there is a lot of distribution, and here this is what happened, especially last week. You see, creating a demand, especially in this zone, Here the market is rejecting again, but it will give me another opportunity to go in. And generally what I like to see is when the market don't go straight and break this zone, making a bounce, and here starting to make some accumulation before the market spike up again. So this is what I'm waiting for here. Same mindset as last week, I repeat. Here on stochastics, we see we are below 20, starting to cross. We are also at the bottom of Bollinger Band. So again, a nice buying point for me. Again, I can understand some traders that say, yeah, or you can make a buy here. The market is on a big downtrend, and of course, you see on the H4 chart, the market is just going down. But again, it's my mindset. I generally don't go with the trend. I'm waiting the good moment to expect a reversal, and here for me, I believe it's a reversal on the USD, and it's quite the same setup on gold. Like on H4, for example. So yeah, this is for gold. This is for Euro USD. We talked about the S&P. Maybe we can talk about the dollar yen. It's quite a long time I didn't trade. This pair is not a lot of difference from last week, guys. This is maybe the only point I was looking for making a sell. Here we were not so close. Let's say not so far. The market went down a little bit and continuing. And on the H4, yeah, on the daily chart is like an uptrend. Not a lot of movement on the daily chart as well. So I don't know. I will again put the dollar yen aside. I'm not comfortable by trading this pair right now. What about the pound? Yeah, pound is it was also an interesting point last week. I think we didn't talk about it, but again, big key zone again on the pound. It was resistance for, if we go to the weekly, we can even see, yeah, it's probably this big zone here. So a lot of distribution around that spot, and then you go to daily chart and you see first sell off here. Again, accumulation during that spot. So this is the type of movement I identify like that I want to see on the euro. You see this, a lot of noise here in the range and then breaking down back. This is the movement that will give me a little type of confirmation. See, so I want to at least waiting few days for the market to play around here like this, not breaking a new low. And when the market will like be stable and create a base, so there is a hash on the market to continue on the upside. This is what's happened exactly here on the pound USD, and this is what I'm waiting for the euro right now. Here again, the market break out a little bit up, have a lot of support zone. Again, we had a buying point here last week, and again, market sell off. Coming back to the range. So again, very nice opportunity for the pound to go. It's also touching this short uptrend line. It's also a demand here creating. If you see on the H4, it's a demand. So this might be a nice spot for Hunter as well. Again, the only thing that I'm a bit scary of is that this zone had been touching a lot of time. Okay, so at some point we're going to see a breakout, so that's why I'm more safe than the euro for that. You see on the daily chart how much time we have touched this zone. So here it's the creating of the zone. Here we touch a lot of time. Then we break out, and here we touch probably maybe 5 or 6 times. Maybe 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, maybe 4 times here, maybe 5 here, 6, 7, and here we continue. So generally, it indicates that this zone is being weak, and this is why it's not comfortable for me to make a buy right now. Again, on the daily chart, we are not yet at the bottom of Bollinger Bands. The bottom is still around here. So expecting a breakout. Again, I don't want to sell this one. As you know, guys, when the market is pushing up, I would like to sell. It's all IBF. Pound New Zealand would be a good sell for stochastic strategy on a daily. Yeah, we can look at that. Dollar CAD as well for George. So let's check dollar CAD before we move to Pound New Zealand. Bitcoin, I don't have the feed here of the Bitcoin, but if you want, I will be happy to share my my mindset for the Bitcoin for the next month probably. Maybe on the daily chart, it's not interesting me because it's very volatile and I'm not. I don't used to trade Bitcoin on a daily or scalping movement. But I will share my expectation on Bitcoin for the next months and probably do next year as well. Okay, dollar CAD. This is the type of setup I like to see. Here there is no noise. Every time the market touch very close of this zone, the market is pushing up. The fact is that here we are not close of that spot. So if you open a buy, and here the only thing I see, open a buy close to this line, there is not a lot of things to do. Basically on the daily chart. You see we are, so this is the extreme zone, the high extreme zone, the low extreme zone, and here it's probably the average. Okay, so you want all the time the price to go back to average. And here we are between the extreme point and the average, so it's not an A+ signal in the daily chart. Okay, so the daily chart, I would like to avoid it. If I go to lower time frame and I go, for example, in the H4, this is not bad at all. Okay, you have a demand here. The market dropped very drastically into this zone. Stochastics is below 20, starting to cross. So this might be a spot to make a buy only on H4 chart, and let's look at the price behave on H1. So here, if I will do something here, it will be a buy, but the stop loss would be very tight. Okay, I don't want to hold it if yeah, and on M15 we are like a short uptrend creating up. So this can be a nice opportunity. Again, it's not an A+ signal because if you go to the daily chart, there is still some space to go. You have at least here 100 pips to go on the bottom side. H4, despite that, on H4 you have a demand. And you go to H1, you see a short uptrend starting to create. So why not expecting the market to bounce up, coming back to the average? That can be a scenario. So this is for dollar CAD. Pound New Zealand would be a good sell for stochastic strategy on the daily chart. Yeah, I agree, but this might be too late. This might be too late to go. I think when you have, actually I will not make a sell right now, and I will explain why. I will not make a sell here. Okay, basically I think it's a very nice example to not having a FOMO attitude, fear of missing out. It's FOMO. Basically, if I had to see this chart and making a trade on it, I would be continuing selling the market when the market goes, maybe, I don't know, I didn't see the daily chart, but probably selling when the market comes here. Around here I would make like my first sell, and probably here making a second sell, and so on. So that's why when you want to trade this type of strategy, the market can go against you a very long period of time. And this is why you need to have some ball at some point. You need to hold a position that, of course, you need to have a stop loss, but the stop loss would be a little bit more far that you used to. Generally, people, what they do is they found the H4 and they say, okay, it's the stop, it's my entry here. I would make a sell here, and the stop loss would be very tight here. And basically, they are not managing the trades. They will use a very high leverage coming in here. They will say, okay, here it's a very strong point. I will go 10 lot sell, and when the market goes there, so the stop loss is taken. So it's very difficult to be flexible and to manage the trade when you don't let a little bit more space. Of course, I didn't see what happened in the weekly on the monthly, but this move is for me relevant. Yeah, you see, if you go to the weekly chart, so you have this point, which is very more relevant. So we break this new high, and just after we break, the market just went down. No one wanted to buy after, and of course, probably there had to be some signals on stochastics, you know, crossing above 80. Bollinger Bands was above, so this was a nice spot. However, on the daily, I will not go selling because the market already went down. So I will never sell when the market is already dropping. I will generally never add when a position is drop. Let's say, I know that other traders like use scaling in, scaling out. Like I know that Saul use that a lot. You will say, the market is starting to go down here, so I will continue selling here and I will continue selling here to average the price. Generally, I don't like to do it. I don't like to sell when the market is dropping. I know that it can be very funny, but I like to be in the opposite side. And especially when you have a strong movement on one side like this. Okay, say if you don't see the right side of the chart, you say the market is only. It's like maybe a bubble, not a bubble, a bubble. It's like a bubble, and when the bubble explodes, so the market goes down very very drastically, and this is the type of movement I'm waiting for generally. And it is the same for Bitcoin. If we want to jump on the Bitcoin and telling you what I'm thinking about Bitcoin, is that I see today that the market is again dropping. It looks like we have a support in maybe the 25k area, 26k area. Again, I'm not trading on a daily basis on the Bitcoin, but if you talk to me about the long term and like 1 year, 2 years, or 3 years time frame, I only see crypto moving up. Again, you need to be careful. There is a lot of meme crypto and like small crypto, like with small caps crypto, that you need to be very careful because generally most of them don't have a very strong technology behind. So what can happen is that 10% of the very strong cryptocurrency and crypto coin will hold, like the Bitcoin, Ethereum, like also Litecoin is also nice, will hold and like continuing to grow on the long term. However, you will see like very small crypto, like Dogecoin and stuff like that don't have a sense at all. They will drop, okay? And this will like maybe start the new era of the crypto world. We'll say, we are only believing on very good project. All the shit coin that are aside, I don't want to go in. Maybe just gambling in 1 day, 2 days, expecting the price to go 1000%, but it's not trading and investment. It's more like gambling. So that's why Bitcoin. I don't want to talk Bitcoin about the daily or weekly what I think. If you want the small insight about the weekly, is that 25, 26k is a zone that it's been like a few months we didn't see the Bitcoin dropping below that area. And of course I'm expecting the price to move up along the S&P. I don't think we're gonna break like 40k or 50k by the end of the year. Crypto, you need to be patient. There is a lot of cycle, but when there is a bull cycle, generally it's after halving and stuff like that, market is booming. So you just need to be patient. And again, I don't trade Bitcoin on a daily basis. Any yen pairs that you're looking at? I was talking about the dollar yen, but again, I'm not looking at the dollar yen quite a lot of time. I'm not feeling well on that movement. Maybe pound yen, there is something interesting right now, but it's been a while I didn't look. Maybe the pound yen, when I see like, it's a nice uptrend, I'm only looking for a sell here. The fact is that there is nothing on the left side of the chart, as you can see. The fact is that there is nothing on the left side of the chart. It's like going a little bit blank or blind. On the monthly chart, the next big area is 190. Okay, and we are far from it. However, if you have like other indicators to go, I think we identify that this is an uptrend, and that also it's an uptrend. Like we can have something like that. So generally, when there is a trend on either downtrend or uptrend, whatever it is, generally the market goes back to the mean every time. Oops. So this can be also a sell opportunity here. It's not the best signal because you have nothing on the left side. There is no like psychological or supply zone that you say, yeah, okay, here there will be some sellers coming in, but only like from maybe data or statistics. When you have an uptrend like that, the price going up on the time, you expect the market to go back to the mean, which will be around here. So generally when the market goes up, it goes up like that. Up, making an higher low and then pushing up and so on. So this is approximately what's happening here. And the fact is that you want to go back to the average, which would be, you expect the price to touch a lot of time, the purple line. And this is why here a sell is not bad. Of course, it's a little bit more risky because you have nothing on the left side of the chart. Bro, don't look at the uptrend on the Aussie dollar. I will look at it. I will look at it. I think it will be funny. Okay, let's move directly into the Aussie dollar. Yeah, here the uptrend is not clear, okay? I will say here you have a base, okay? You see clearly it's a base here, for example. This is from your base. The market break the base and just here making a retest here. Maybe on lower time frame it might be an uptrend. Let's say if I go to M15 or yeah, M30, of course it's an uptrend. Okay, all of this it's an uptrend. Here we have a small rejection and then here the market continue to push. However, if you go to the daily, it's not an uptrend. It's just we just break the structure. We break the structure that hold like from February 2023, and then here we're starting a retest. And I believe here it's quite a strong key zone. All the time the market touch this zone, we have a lot of rejection. So here can be some space to make a short sell, especially on about what I see. We already had like first rejection here, but I think the bigger movement will come a little bit after. Again, it's not the A+ signal for me because Bollinger Bands, we are at the average on the daily chart. Okay, so here again, I don't have all the signal for me to say, yeah, according to my trading plan, I need to go short. So yeah, but again, I think this is a nice key zone on the Aussie dollar, so you need to be careful. If you're long, be careful on the zone here. Like I won't be surprised if here the market goes back down. And of course, looking at the 30 minutes, it's an uptrend. There is nothing to say on that, but of course, if you see to H4 daily chart or maybe weekly, weekly we don't see a lot of that, but daily and H4 chart, it's quite easy to see that we are in a big zone. Okay, let's move to Nasdaq. We talked about the S&P, I think, but the Nasdaq probably the same. It's a very nice V shape. I have a dot if I want to make a sell here. Very strong V shape here. But yeah, I think this is the same zone. You see this zone here where the market like it's the neck of the head and shoulder we had on the weekly chart. You see we had, for example, here the first shoulder. We had the second shoulder here. We had the long head, and then we break, we make a retest, and again we are coming back to this neckline. Again, I'm not looking for a buy here. This is quite clear. The market is already pushing up. The market at least don't have retracement. Only here we had a small retracement on the beginning of February. But moving from here to here, it's like a 35% up from October 2022, which is a lot. Okay. Of course, I already talked about AI, machine learning, all of this that actually push technology stocks to the sky because we say, yeah, we can increase profitability, we increase efficiency of the tech companies. So I think this is actually AI is driving this movement. We have a lot of confidence on ChatGPT and stuff like that. We say, yeah, it might be the future. So that's why actually we just forgot already inflation and the bad things in the US markets. And we are only focusing on AI and increase of efficiency. But again, technically for me, it's only a sell for me, technically speaking. Again, I don't know when, I don't know how I will manage it. It's quite a bit risky. But for me, this zone is a sell zone, okay? If I go to the weekly chart. It's around the 14,600 level. It's like this big zone here. So I have maybe 2 or 3% to play around. Maybe today the market can push 2 or 3%. I will start to create some selling point. We see also stochastics here above 80. We are not so far from the cross. We are the top of Bollinger Bands in the weekly. It's the same on the daily. So again, a lot of indication to make a sell. We don't know when. It's like the same of the pound New Zealand. Like, I don't know. I would just put the chart also to say, okay, what I'm expecting here on the S&P. Okay, so it's like here. It's like the S&P is moving up, small rejection, and here we moved up, and then here already the momentum is finished and the market dropped. So I'm looking for this short drop in the Nasdaq, and same in the S&P. Okay, so you see the difference. So you see, it's quite the same. Just the pound New Zealand, there is, of course, no direct connection between the Nasdaq and the pound New Zealand. There is no connection at all, but only to explain how the market can behave, and I think here the market can behave the same. Long uptrend on the Nasdaq. We are touching a big key zone on Nasdaq right now, so I'm expecting the market to at least retrace like we had in the pound New Zealand a few hours ago, maybe a few days ago. Yeah, a few days ago on 1st of June. So yeah, very similar movement that I'm looking for in the S&P and the Nasdaq. Of course, there is different economical explanation to that, but technically, this is what I want to see. And again, if you see, Bollinger Band is at the top, stochastics is at the top as well, and same on the Nasdaq. So if you don't say, yeah, it's the Nasdaq and yeah, it's the pound New Zealand, you will say, yeah, it's two very similar chart. All right. I think this makes sense. Okay. Maybe Canadian is interesting. We talked about gold, we talked about US indices, dollar currency. We didn't talk about the Swiss. It's also yeah, again, very difficult for me to take a decision in the dollar Swiss. If I go to the daily chart, I would say, yeah, might be the continuity of the selling movement. You see, it's support, we break out, we go back to the zone. On the H4, we already had a reaction here. Again, it's an uptrend, so maybe I could sell the market when the market touch like the top again, like here. But again, if I go to the weekly chart, the market just bounced from this lowest point, and the monthly chart, it's quite the same. So again, if I do something, it's only on the short time frame, like maybe 30 minutes can be nice. H1 as well. But on the daily and weekly chart, I'm not so much comfortable. Bitcoin, please share expectation for the month. I already talked about it. I'm expecting the Bitcoin not to break a new low like 22. Yeah, you will see a lot of articles. Yeah, the Bitcoin is dropping down, but we are still coming back to the 27K zone. I don't see the Bitcoin coming back to the 20K, 21K. That's the thing I can do for months, but I will not like share any gambling suggestion on Bitcoin. I have a long-term perspective on the cryptocurrency. Again, if you talk to me like for short time frame, and I believe that in Bitcoin 1 month is very short time frame, because I'm looking for like few years in front of me. I have nothing to say on the monthly expectation in Bitcoin. All right, guys. I think we made. I think we talked about almost everything. Of course, there is a lot of other pairs, but the focus will be on gold, the USD, and the indices. Like already, like few months, nothing changed. Of course, the yen I put aside. It's very complicated to understand what's going on the yen. Maybe dollar CAD. I think we had a nice. No, we talked about dollar CAD as well. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yes, maybe if you want some like Q&A, guys, on the chat, open questions regarding the markets, regarding the programs on the 5ers, regarding the event that we are going to have in London in 1 week. I think it's maybe on 10 days right now. Type on the chat. I will be here like for a few more minutes. I think we made a nice, let's say, overview of the market for this week. I think this is enough. We don't want to like go deeper and in details, which can affect your trading plan. So we will keep it here. So guys, let me know on the chat if you have some questions. We're gonna have like 5-10 minutes Q&A. It can be question regarding myself as well. I'm not shy, so you can ask. I would have say everything you want, but yeah, we will still say like on the trading part and the 5ers. Anyway. So meanwhile, I received some questions. We made a release today on the new program, the new iStakes program we have. To make a short summary, the iStakes is a 2-step challenge that we have released. All the programs have the like 2-step challenge, and I think this was a nice. Like a lot of traders want specifically 2 steps. We have also the instant funding, which is like instant funding. You get instant funded instantly, and you get the bootcamp, which is 3 steps. We don't have the two steps, and a lot of people say, yeah, we want those 2 steps. So we made the 2 steps, of course, with our innovation, with our rules, and with our risk management, which we are quite happy. And we have released today. We had recently a time limit of 1 month. For 1 month for the first step, and maybe 45 days for the second step. We have erased actually the time limit, which with me we are actually unlimited. The challenge is unlimited for the 2-step challenge, which is called iStakes. So it's a nice release, and yeah, you will not be forced to trade very actively for 1 month. If you want to go on vacation, you can go on vacation. If you are a swing trader, you can go on the iStakes as well. So we are at least opening the program for all the traders possible. I don't think the program will not be fit for someone specific. Will be a great educational event. Yeah, definitely. There is a lot of speakers coming, professional traders, risk management. It will be very nice event, and of course you will be able to meet us in person there. So it would be a nice meeting. It would be nice to catch you guys there. Which training program do you recommend for newbies? For the bootcamp, I think the bootcamp is the main. It depends what you call for newbies. Generally, I don't think a newbie, someone that starts trading, will make money from the beginning. So that's good that you know that. But to answer your question, it will be the bootcamp, because it will teach you how to be consistent. Doing 3 steps, you need to do 6% 3 times. And the cost of it is very low. So I invite you to see the bootcamp challenge that we are offering. Too bad we won't be able to split up to see all the lectures. Yeah, I agree, but you know, trading is so wide in terms of subjects. So I think you will be able to decide what you want to listen specifically. Like if you have like 2 lectures at the same time, I believe you will be able to decide, and if not, you can ask someone like to split. You say, yeah, I will be sitting in this lecture, you will be sitting in the other one, and we can share what we just learned. I think that's also a nice thing to do. What are the rules for the competition in the Trader Live event? I think we are not sure about the rules. We are still working on it, but I believe you will be. So of course at the event the rules will be clear and written, but I think the rules are not 100% written down, so we will wait for it. And I hope you guys like the new room, the new environment. Some light behind me. Very feel comfortable. We have like also changed like the background of the camera. It will like more user experience side. Again, this type of trading room is all the time to show that, yeah guys, you're not alone. We are here for you. You can come discuss with us. Generally, it's basically for the market and discuss about the market, but it can be like, you know, we just finished to talk about it. It can be Q&A and you can ask everything you want about. So yeah. All right, guys. I will wish you a nice week. I wish you a nice week, a nice day. Yeah, I'm just talking about telling you bye, and the camera just turned off anyway. Let me remove this. Anyway, guys, I wish you a nice week. I'm still here. Only the camera just shut down because of the heat. I will need to set up that. If you have any questions, contact us as usual. And see you next Monday for another weekly forecast with me. I appreciate the time you guys being with me. So yeah, I appreciate. Have a nice day. Have a nice week, guys. See you.